I was pleasantly surprised about a couple of things. So for example, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Smashbrush, and for today's video I'm going to be doing a pretty thorough review of the all new Tati Beauty new Blendiful puffs, I want to call them. I have been dying to try this out. This looks like such a fun and innovative product in a sense, and the only reason I say that is because I have seen other different powder puffs. I haven't seen any that really claim for them to apply foundation on, but I could just be wrong, or maybe I was just never really attracted to it. I haven't tried it out either, so I'm really curious to see how that would look like. So in today's video, I'm going to be comparing these powder puffs along with my beauty sponge. This is one that I use constantly, all the time, basically every single time I wear foundation. So I'm really curious to see what the differences are between the two, if it's worth it, just my opinions and thoughts on it. And obviously I'm trying to be as transparent as possible with you guys. So if this is a video that you're interested in, then just keep watching. And without further ado, let's get to it. The Blendiful actually comes in one of these really nice packages. It gives you the cleaning instructions in the back. It says machine wash and dry in delicate laundry bag, or gently hand wash, and someone's sending me a text, or gently hand wash in warm soapy water, rinse through and blot dry. It says it's cruelty free, it's vegan, made in China, and it says no harsh lines. So I'm really excited to try that out. I think in general, we're always trying to find something that's like new, something that'll kind of break us out from our routine of makeup. I think this is really nice because I feel like most makeup YouTubers or just like influencers, whenever they launch a product, it's always just actual makeup and usually eyeshadow. So I'm actually really happy that this is actually a tool rather than the actual makeup, and I'm excited to try this out. I have high hopes for it. She critiques makeup pretty well for it to be something that's like floppy. Again, that's just my own opinion though, and this could be a total flop. So what I want to do here today is do half of my face with the Blendiful and then the other half with my beauty sponge, and then just kind of see the differences between each. There are so many, by the way, beauty sponges out there. I personally love this Real Techniques ones just because I feel like I can throw them out. They're pretty inexpensive and I can constantly buy more and more if I had to. Okay, first thing I'm gonna say is that this puff looks really big. Like, look at that, it covers up my entire cheek. So if you guys want to see how much of a big cheek I have and you were to buy one of these, just put it on your face. It basically covers up the whole amount. I have pretty big cheeks, which is, it is what it is. So first thing I'm going to say is that this feels very comfortable on here. Definitely something easily bendable. The other one bends as well. It is just a little like slightly stiffer, and I don't know if it has to do because of the sizing or because there is like a little bit more padding on the inside, but that's just my observation. I do want to say this looks really cute, and it looks something like so easily put into your hand and just to apply concealer. Apparently this one is also for more of like on the go. This is nice like if you just want to throw it in your bag and then touch up later. I know sometimes people can get a little bit creasy around here, or even just a little bit around there. That's just natural stuff within our face. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my foundation normally on this side. I use a mixture of foundations, I will say, but I'm going to be doing the exact amount that I'm using on my sponge. I'm going to be using that same exact amount on the puff, and I just want to see how much each one absorbs, how much it like distributes everything together, and I am just going to apply right here. I used about 3-ish pumps on this side, and the only reason why I use that much is just because I like to mix and match foundations. So right now my jam has been these two mixed together, even sometimes a little bit with this one. So if you're curious as to what foundations I like to use, it's been the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I mix it up with a little bit of the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and sometimes if I wanted to get a little extra, I use this Charlotte Tilbury Luminous Foundation as well. well. As you can see, I don't like things that are way too heavy. I like it to be like nice and luminous, but I don't know, I love the mixtures of these foundations. So now I'm going to be trying this on the other side of my face. The side that I think would be easier to use would be the one very pointy side. I want to say this is really cringy to like apply foundation on something that's like clothy like this. It gets me like, like I need to wet it or something. I don't know. So right off the bat, what I notice is that the foundation just stays right on top of there. This looks like a full coverage type of thing going on onto this. Let's go on with this. This, how can I say this? This feels very comfortable. This feels very satisfying to do, and it feels like slightly relaxing as well. I am doing a little bit more of like a light tapping, and then I did do some like wiping motion. Okay, so that took like 2 seconds to put on my foundation, which is really nice. I even still have some like slightly left over that if I wanted to like blend out down here, I totally can. Yeah, that just blended out really nicely. Okay, so next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be applying my concealer on. Again, I'm gonna be using my sponge on this side and then the puff on the other side. Okay, this is what I like when I start transforming my under eyes. And now let's do this powder puff on the other side. Okay, so I feel like this one kind of took off a little bit of the concealer. Even while I was in here, it's like I almost started seeing some redness in the way. So I don't know how I feel about this, but I usually do a double coat of concealer. So I'm gonna be going back into this and blending it out with a sponge. And then I'm gonna blend out this side with the bigger puff. Yeah, so definitely 100% I like this one better. I don't know if the hairs are slightly different. I don't know if this one's just like thicker and this one's just more thin in quality, but I would definitely say this one blended out my concealer a whole lot better, and it actually left it in place rather than remove any. I want to try slight baking. I don't really bake as much anymore, but I just want to see how it'll leave my concealer. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my sponge, apply it right into here. I don't leave it baking there for too long, so what I normally do is I have to dust it off, and unfortunately I can't really dust it off with that one, so this had nothing on it. And now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use this one, and I am going to set this side. Have a little bit on there, and and I'm just gonna lightly dust some of it off. I feel like I barely have to dust any of it off because it kind of just melted in here. Yeah, wow, that is nice. So this looks a whole lot smoother than this side. I mean, maybe not like a whole lot, like, you know, an exaggerated amount, but I can definitely tell the difference that this side looks a whole lot smoother as far as like the setting portion of it than the sponge does. Okay, you know what? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like slightly like set my foundation on this side, and then I'm going to be doing a regular brush on this side. I don't really set with a sponge, so I guess I'm kind of just showing you how I do my makeup versus how I would do it if I were to just be using this. And I am just gonna put this all over. By the way, I have been loving this brush. It's really nice and soft. I did just upload a Makeup on Mario x Sephora brush collection review. It was actually my last upload, so if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and watch it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set it with the puff. So I'm gonna go like that. It applied it on really nicely as well. I don't see too much of a difference between both of them, but I'm loving the way this just applied it on. if I don't see the difference like in a bad way, then I think we're on the right track, you know, especially if this is a side that I'm really comfortable with. So next would be contour. I do want to try to do my contour with this. I know this is mainly for foundation, but at this point it's like, you know, for some kicks and giggles, let's go ahead and also do our contour. I'm going to be using my Hoola bronzer. I guess I'll use the other side. You know, that's actually applying that really nicely, like really nicely. Do a slight nose contour. I think that was a little bit too much, so let's calm it down a little bit. I forgot I usually use a different product for like nose contour. I think what's nice is that like I can bend it and then really apply the product however I want to. It definitely has a lot of uses for me. And you know what's nice too with the clean side, I feel like if I were to make a harsh line, which for example like in this area I would like to soften it out, I totally can. So it doesn't look like it's way too harsh. That's all a matter of preference too, because I know everybody likes their contour really differently. But you can use the side that you haven't used on, or even like flip it around, for example, just so you can get more use, and it'll really just soften everything out. Yeah, this is how I would do my bronzer and like my contouring and stuff. Okay, so the next step would be my blush. Again, this is the optional part. I don't think this was meant for this, contouring, highlighting, and blush, but we're just kind of trying it out at this point. I don't know which side I'm gonna be using anymore, but I'm just gonna slightly put this on. And then with that soft side, I am gonna blend it out a little bit. I'm gonna apply a little bit of my highlighter, and I am gonna bend it with this and just apply it like right there. And wow, that's it. Like, my complexion is done. What? That's crazy, all with one product? Okay, so I'm kind of amazed right now at the fact that I was able to do my entire face with just that puff. So let me finish my under eyes and put on my lipsticks, and we're gonna talk a little bit. Okay guys, so here are my final thoughts. This is just my personal opinion on these products. I also want to include in there that a lot of things might change according to what products you use. For example, I used more of a luminous foundation. I am also curious to see how this would look like versus using like a full coverage foundation. I didn't see a huge difference as far as foundation application between the both of these, but I was pleasantly surprised about a couple of things. So for example, my concealer coverage, I do think this left it just slightly smoother, and I feel like it just looked like butter down there. Like it was just so like flawless. I feel like it improved like even the appearance of my skin a little bit. Now what's really amazing about this is that I was able to do my entire face with this. The fact that I didn't see too much of a foundation difference between the sponge and this is actually really nice. You know, you use something on a daily that you know that works, that you like, that you're comfortable with. So if I don't really see too much of a difference as far as like the foundation application, that's a good thing. That means this is something that is comparable to this side, right? Not only does this perform the same way as this, but it also is able to do other things. So with this, I was able to apply my concealer really nicely, which I think applied it slightly better than the sponge. I was also able to set my entire face. I was able to do contour, highlight, and blush. This just made it a whole lot easier, and the fact that it's like bendable like this and you have like different corners, that really helps out a lot. I did my entire face, and look how much there is left over. So I mainly just use this side and this side right here. So I still have this entire side to use, and I also have this side here as well. So it's not like completely dirty. I am curious to see like how much more I can use of this before I have to wash it, but it's the same exact thing as the foundation, honestly. I feel like maybe after its second use, if you don't wash a sponge, it just gets so hard, and like the foundation just doesn't apply the same. It's like less spongy. So I think it's the same exact case with this. The only thing is the dry time, I would say. I'm thinking of doing like a 1 week update on this if you guys are interested in that. If you are, just leave that down in the comments below. Now let's talk about the little mini guy. I am not that much of a fan on this. I did see her launch video. I just can't remember if she said this was only used for like a touch-up. I thought she said this was for concealer as well. If it is just for only a spot touch-up, I think this isn't too bad, but as far as concealer, I really was not liking the way it applied my concealer. I feel like it took some away. Let's also talk about price differences. So this is $18 and this comes with both of these, which is really nice. The Laura Mercier that I know a lot of people are comparing it to is not meant for foundation as well. It is literally just meant for powder. At least to my knowledge it is. It's designated for use with the translucent loose setting powder to create a soft focus matte finish. This is on Sephora.com, so it doesn't say anything about foundation. So the fact that that one is $16 and it's just meant for powder versus this that is $18 and you can use it for this entire face, I think is really, really nice. I think you will definitely see your money's worth with this. And then also, if we were to compare it to this price, I believe these are like $6.99 or something around that. I like to buy them in bulk, so I'm not too sure about the pricing. Although it is cheaper, you do have to replace these. These will get old. This will build up bacteria in there. And although I love this, it is something that I am constantly buying. Yeah, guys, that is basically all I have to say. I am really impressed. Definitely a thumbs up for me. Hopefully this is something that I can add on to my day-to-day. I am going to be using this for a week, and I think I'm gonna update you guys after a week and let you know what is going on with that. So thank you guys so much for being here on my channel today, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.